Hey you, so I just wanted to do this video just giving my thoughts and opinions on the current release of the Rwanda Lunar dog, as I've been asked a few questions. So I'll just give my own personal opinions on some answers on a few of the questions I've been asked, and just my general thoughts on the current release of this dog. So as we all know, the Rwanda Lunar dog's out now. We've got the motif, so the image is out. I'd say it's a 60-40 in favour from the general public's opinion. For me, I've already mentioned, I do think it's nice. I think it's very artistic, very pop art, you know, and I've mentioned before, I'm into my art. It's what sets it apart from a lot of the other releases out there, whereas you get something like the Perth Mint, you know, they've literally physically drawn a dog, and what you get is what you see, whether you like it, their rendition. But I really like the arty approach that these guys had to it. Yes, people have mentioned they believe the rooster, so do I, was the best rooster out last year, and coming off the heels of that, they feel this has fallen short with those that do have that opinion. Like I said, I'd need to see it in person, but currently, if I was going to be ranking it, well, with the short list of only 2 coins, the rooster is still currently my favourite within this series. I mean, we're only on the 2nd release, but this is I do personally like it and feel it's a very strong design. I feel once in hand, it's going to be very interesting to see how the light bounces off different sections of the coin. But that's just my thoughts on the actual coin itself. Now, regarding price and whereabouts and what dealers, what I've taken away from this currently, while I'm showing the main place, I've been telling a lot of people, whether you're in the US or wherever you are on the planet, as these guys do ship worldwide, what I'm noticing is that with this, there seems to be, like, you know, a bit of a rush at the moment. The hype is extremely ripe, even from the dealers. I've contacted even a few dealers that I communicate with and just inquired as to why the price has been very, very, very steep, in my opinion. And I mean, I've not been too impressed with the price, but there's a couple of things I did mention, but I'll go on to show again. With this series, and I've just flipped on to the rooster quickly just to give an example, it has appreciated fantastically. I personally believe, my own personal feelings here, it can rival Lunar Series 1 in terms of investment potential and returns, in that Lunar Series 1 was a sleeper of a series. You know, a lot of individuals slept on it, and by the time it gained traction, the prices were what the prices were. Those that was able to get in early, and when they was able to sell for fantastic returns. Now, those that bought on the secondary market and tried to go on to increase may not have seen that rush. But as I mentioned on the gold release, them releasing 100 coins is a very tiny mintage. They was barely breaking even for what I'd been told. So when you're looking at that, this already is on a very micro mintage. It was a gamble for them, because if it would have fell flat on its face, who knows whether they would have carried it on. But it's done very successful, and it was on 100 coins. I knew they was going to increase, and they've done it a lot sooner than later. But the main thing I wanted to show is it's very rare, and this is the buyback that we're looking at, when a dealer will offer you 2,300 euros. Now, when this dealer first sold the roosters, their first price was at 1,800 euros. So if you can see, and they had their roosters down there, I'd say 3 months ago now from time of releasing this video. So the demand, you know, you can sell this back to the dealer now if you purchased it from the dealer, and you'll be making a very tiny profit, some 500 plus euros. So looking at that and taking this all into account, from what I'm getting and hearing back, this series has gained a lot of traction now, which is great in 2 ways, I believe. One, the numbers ain't of such quantity where it's going to dilute. I don't know, where you've got a gold coin on a 5,000 mintage. Yes, it can feed as many people that want it, but it's small enough, whereas if you're one of the lucky ones or switched on, you can really gain. But it's also going to do great things for the first coins. This is just from a dealer purchasing back. So you can imagine on the secondary market, if individuals, and as I mentioned, because it's on such a tiny mintage, they've found happy homes. Individuals that have these are going to be completing the set. So you can only expect that price to go up. And I know a kind of individual could get a lot more than that, maybe squeezing out of a dealer, but there's always room to get more just from a dealer. It's very rare. You know, I mean, when was the last time a coin came out and within the same year, a dealer was offering up to $500 or euros or pounds back. You know, so the demand has really surged. The rooster, from what I'm hearing back from dealers, was somewhat of a slow takeoff. Now the coin has gained a lot of traction. Dealers are now saying, even from purchasing the coin, the prices have increased. Now, it did throw me off a little, and I wasn't too impressed, because we've got the second in the series, and it technically damn near has double the mintage. The rooster had 100, but it was the first. You know, our dealers have told me they knew the rooster at the tail end of it selling out would have been that popular. They would have had it on a higher price. And it's hard to understand. We can all complain and grumble, and I'm not happy about this, but you're talking about a series, not to forget, that has a mintage of 100. That is a tiny mintage worldwide on a coin motif that's going to be out in the thousands. If you think about the BU coin, as I mentioned when I very first introduced the coins, I believe will carry the series through. So it's got something for everybody at every level. So if you want to get in just to collect the series, you have the BUs, which are also in silver, appreciating nicely. If you want to get more risky and adventurous, then you have the silver proof offering and the gold offering. So I've been assured that dealers ain't price gouging on the likes of, but you know, prices coming in for everybody have increased. Now, I've also seen somewhat that could be considered shady tactics. I don't have the link here, where some dealers have been offering this coin around the 1,500 euro mark. Now, I've been told that's a physical impossibility, you know. So it'll be very interesting if anybody that was able to purchase this coin at time of releasing this video, I'd say yesterday or a couple of days ago, was able to secure the gold for 1,500 euros, because it's somewhat of a real big hype rush going on with the dealers, and that some dealers are maybe pulling sneaky tactics where they're advertising that they've got the gold for a lot cheaper, whereas if you know somebody that was able to secure it for that price, then that'll be extremely interesting. But word on the grapevine is that they're pulling shady tactics, which has drawn a lot of attention to their site, because you can't have the gold at 1,500 euros. That's cheaper than when the rooster came out. But your silver has increased in price, your silver proof, you know, so it'd be across the board. So some dealers don't even have the coin in, and some dealers, I'll tell you now, are pulling shady tactics where they're waiting for a lot of the other dealers to sell out, and they'll start putting on the coin. And this is euros I'm talking here, for 2,500 euros, 3,000 euros. Now, to get some type of understanding towards that, the Saint Maria coin, the nautical ounce coin, it's time of releasing this video, hasn't even been out for 3 weeks. Issue price in euros was around 1,600 euros. This is the coin I'm referring to here. Dealers have completed sales on this coin at 3,000 euros, 2,500 euros easy. This is from a dealer. Now, for individuals believing that that's it, that's the ceiling price, once again, you're not taking into account that this isn't the elephant coin that came out with a mintage of 10, was a one-off and wasn't part of a long-running series. This is part of a very long-running series, completing in 2027, I believe, and it's only going to go up. The mintages are going to increase with each release, so it pulling off at this price, only, you know, whoever knows what it's going to be 2-3 years from now, or when more motifs come out. But you know, that's my thoughts there. I'm not happy with it, but dealers are saying their prices are their prices due to the suppliers giving it to them at a set amount of price. So I'm not happy with it. I've asked and inquired if dealers could be more fair and reasonable regarding, and I've had back telling me, well, listen, we've been told we have a set allocation. If we mumble or, you know, grumble about the price, the allocation will get pulled, and there'll be another dealer willing to snap them up within the blink of an eye. So that's the kind of situation we've got with these at the moment. The German market, which are the beast collectors, are just absolutely lapping these up. The American market, I know some of the larger brands where you've got Atmex and the likes of, I'm not sure what type of allocations they're getting, but, you know, I've left the dealers that are definitely doing these. I've mentioned that they do deliver to the USA. I know this dealer doesn't, the dealer I just displayed. A lot of these dealers are mentioning that they need you to put your details in. Pre-sale starts this coming Monday, time of release of this video. They do deliver to the USA. If you are interested on a release like this, and this hot, and this, you know, unpredictable, I would say purchase direct from one of these European dealers, as you could avoid yourself some disappointment if you're interested in the silver proof or the gold. Now, individuals have asked me if I want to sell them some or anything of the likes of. On this one, I'm not going to be doing, I'm already doing it for a few individuals that have channels and I've built up some type of relationship with. Moving forward, I think this would be the best advice. These are the two dealers I'm showing here. This dealer still hasn't revealed their price at the time of releasing the video, but they do deliver worldwide, which I'm restating again because a lot of individuals seem to always ask me that. So definitely try these guys out. I know these guys had a very large allotment, I would say well over 30, and they've sold well over 50% of their stock. They're down to single digits, and I believe when they're gone, or you may see this price sky high. They've had no problems selling the Santa Maria for close to 3,000 euros. The demand is there definitely for these coins. If you believe you'll be able to pick this coin up in a couple of years for pennies of what it's worth now, good luck to you. If you believe they're not going to go on to sell on the secondary market, if they are selling on the secondary market with such a small mintage, I've already explained they've found happy homes. So you have this dealer. A few individuals in America have mentioned this site. I've never used them before. I know individuals that have. They state that they've purchased from these guys before and they ship to America. I'm not sure if they had the gold in or the silver, but once again, an individual had contacted me, so I thought it best I'd show that. So that's uranium.de. Once again, I've not used them, but it could be another avenue for individuals that definitely want confirmation. But if you are interested, I would say definitely come to this site here. The price is stated there, and this is the main site I've been recommended that I'm purchasing all of mine from. By Monday, you guys should have a price and know what the situation is. Currently, at the moment, they're just taking pre-order sales, but just having it up there so individuals know and getting some type of measurement as to what demand's going to be. So that's the gold and that's the silver. Other than that, I think the series is doing well. It's fantastic. Very happy with it. I mean, it's stomping, marching along. It's going to be absolutely killer once it's complete. As I mentioned, I think it could rival the Lunar Series 1 in that it sets itself different from all other Lunar Series. Of course, there's other Lunar Series out there with much better designs, if you ask me. And that's just me just personally going from just the aesthetics of any other coin. But I think this ticks a lot of the boxes. I've mentioned before that it doesn't leave a lot of room for, you know, some of the big boys at next to come in and really just, you know, scrutinize and exploit the series. I've seen what they've done with the Chiwu series as of recent, making fractional gold pieces. I believe that series, if I owned that coin, I'd be deeply disappointed, because it's exactly what I was saying when you have dealers being extremely opportunistic. I would rather, as I mentioned before, the situation that we're currently in, where the dealer was barely breaking even producing a coin, and so they've gone on to increase the price. Not exceptionally, not way too much, but just enough where, you know, we're grumbling, but if you did want to resell, you could easily resell back to the dealer, as you've just seen. And so, you know, when that's an option, it's great. Instead of having a coin, happy days. No one's saying it can't happen with this coin, fingers crossed. But, you know, then, you know, you're tap dancing about and Amex come along and just release a whole new hundreds and thousands of the coin. A prime example, and I'm very happy that I pulled out of potentially picking up the coin. Nothing wrong with it, but you don't want to be told it has a mintage of X, Y, and Z. You purchase the coin on the strength of that, and then less than a month later, they're like, well, hey, we've got another, you know, variation of the coin in a blue or a red card or a smaller size, and this is the set mintage. It's a joke. The collector scene market is already a wild west as it is, and the last thing you need is these guys being able to just jump on top of a serious or greedy mint that's willing to jump in bed and just dilute whatever individuals already invested in. So just putting this out, the main dealers, I'd say keep an eye on these guys. They haven't released their prices yet. I believe on Monday, if you are interested, log in. They are shipping worldwide, so there's no need for me to really do anything with anybody. You know, anything you want, you can get from these guys if you leave your email in. These guys are down to their last few. They don't have the silver proof. The rush, what I've heard back from a lot of the dealers, has been for the gold. I'm not sure, once again, whether any US dealers are going to be getting them. I think just purely because a lot of the German dealers are having no problem selling off allotments of 50 and the likes of. So by the time it does reach over there, if you do get a sniffing, I'm sure they'll have the same email set up where somebody notifies them that they're interested. So if you're interested, I would say on this specific series, it's not something I'd normally say. I would say take a punt and go this route. So hate or love it, once again, it'd be fantastic to know what you guys think of the current situation of the coin. We should be getting it the beginning of November. It's out, we've seen the images, we're just waiting for a price over here, and then we should have it in hand and everybody can add it on, and the march goes on from there. So it'd be fantastic to know what you guys think of this release and video. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to come and follow me on the other platforms that I'm on. That's the Instagram, Steam It, and the Silver Forum. And I'll catch you guys in the rerun.